Hi, if you want to come on in, have a seat for some symbolic support. We're going to grab some scrolls and some tarot for like an all signs collective over this long weekend. So if you'd like to take a moment with me, close the eyes, cleansing the palette of perception, releasing the race and the rush, activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support. All right, just pulling out some scrolls here as our ink that will inspire our insights, intellect, and intuition. One more, thank you. All right, put those off to the side. We'll add on some tarot and oracle along the way. Okay, so we have the all, which is really standing out to me, along with these ones. Let's see what's going on here. Some oracle to support. I'm taken right into like the root space to the crown space. I have a feeling whoever may be, whoever may be watching is a fellow seer, sensitive, ESP, empath, psychic, apply any term. We'll add on the spirit box as well along the way. If there's anyone watching for shout outs that may pertain to you versus myself. Something about the thoughts of all, maybe in the collective. There's some sort of harnessing. There's a thinking, there's a contemplating, and it's in the root space like, how do I digest this? I kind of get the sense I'm looking at something through a screen. TV, tablet, phone, something along that lines. And there's like, not clouds coming in, but you know, like if you were looking at a mirror or a device and like a GIF or some animation was starting to come rolling in. And something about the air of the mind and the like more in the electricity aspect, like things are lighting up. And then when I water into like the Piscean energy, it's connecting into my emotions, my magnetism. And I'm in this pool of, it's people. We'll add on the spirit box here. Feel free to shout out accordingly. I'm debating on how to proceed, how to maybe swim. Am I in the deep end? I'm not sure. And I'm also seeing glasses that are like, you know, like, can you get my glasses? Did I just see that? Did I just read that? Did I just hear that? 7, I feel like that's important, and it's 2023, 2 plus 2 plus 3, 7, cycle of 7. Something might, I want to say something might be balancing out, but I don't know that that's how it feels. It's as though, oh, what are you? There are beings stepping forward that are tending to a fire. And I feel like this fire is inspiration of some sorts. Good morning. Good morning, my love. But I'm not really sure if this inspiration, okay, maybe that's the mixing pool, the shallow and the deep end of sorts, applying that to deep feelings, you know, shallow scenes, this, that, or the other. I feel like if you're here with me, you can apply and understand what I'm talking about without me having to say it. And there's beings tending to a fire. What something about the void as well. This is that device thing that I'm on, or a TV that I'm watching. Might be void of something. Or creating a void. Does that make sense? So when I personally wander into void land, I think of the color black and like the womb space itself. It's very nurturing, and things are born from like this black hole. On the other end, things are drawn in and seemingly disappear. When I'm wandering into this, it's almost of the same site. Like I'm trying to fix my glasses again. Like, is it luring me into the black hole? So that almost as if the fire of inspiration is like cleansing my connection to consciousness. Does that make sense? And then I go on the other hand, and things are being birthing out, and I'm like, yeah, am I open to see this and perceive this? That's what that feels like. It's a very interesting read if you're here with me. I'm not trying to give it any more struggles or highlight than it already is. I feel like if you are here, you understand, you can see it all around you. But something brings me closer to home. I just heard the cows jump over the moon. The cows jump over the moon. Is it a fairy tale? The cows jump over the moon. I kind of want to go into this device or mirror a little bit more. Okay, so Saturn stepping forward with some infinite loop, and that's why I'm not sure, because it's the same story over and over and over again. And there's some that maybe if you're here with me, you're like an observer. Does that make sense? You're an observer. Fixing the glasses, yes, I'm observing. Yes, I'm observing. And I'm observing from this very survival state to this, or human survival, but also like this intuitive connectivity. Vampire hunger. It's as if, okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay. So when I bring up the vampire and the root scroll that I'm seeing, and we've been talking about like this device or something, and there's a book back there. Maybe yourself or others that you can sense around you, the souls that are currently incarnate are hungry for I almost want to say new information, but because of the eagerness, yeah, it's almost like instead I'm going back and displeased with what I see before me, perhaps like in books or things that I'm seeing on the screen. So I'm trying to change history versus applying what I'm hungry to for a future. I don't know if that makes sense. Foresight, Sybil. Okay. Oh, will that come through in the glorious sunshine there? There's a contemplation. This hunger is making me feel a little bit uncomfortable. Because you know what it makes me feel like when you're hungry for this, that, or the other? It's almost like a vulnerability can come through, because now something knows how to emotionally connect to you, to feed you. And because there's this drive for hunger, whether it's information, food, love, apply anything. manipulation can come through where you'll almost like swipe past, like looking at the ingredients or researching a little bit deeper because you're just so hungry for information that you'll just kind of take things at face value without knowing what it attaches into in the thoughts. And okay, so there's perhaps a looking for instant gratification. Thank you. But I want to wander back. I want to wander back to those siblings of soul observers. That's, I don't know if this will come through in the card with the lighting. Okay, see how she's just like sitting there observing? And it's pronounced in the sky. That's making me feel like water. And all the orbs back there. And I feel like this is, and we're very much in, even beyond the crown. And you can sense this deep longing, but it's like, I'm here to observe. I'm here to observe without incurring or connecting into perhaps new karmic ties that won't be seen or understood or manifest fully into till another like generation Gemini. Or timeline. But there's that Gemini feel where even in this moment, there's always two stories happening at the same time. Though similar, it's like going about it this way or that way. Neither is right or wrong, but it's some sort of, okay, thank you. Foresight, will this card come through? Like, see how the circles are all here? And it's card number 13. There's a deep contemplation within like observers that are very focused in this. I know this card is not coming through for one reason or another really clearly, but the coloring is like very consciousness connective, and see like all the birds in there, the messages. Boundaries, Sheila Nagik. Okay, so this is like some sort of wisdom and guts and glory. Remember like when we were talking about the black hole too? Like it can be sucked in or sucked out. Like I'm all of a sudden seeing, and maybe you can relate to this in your wisdom of perception, the multiple layers that are kind of overlaid. You know, it's like I'm seeing somebody, you know, watching or doing something on their tablet or their phone, but they also have a tablet and then they also have the TV on. Okay, so I feel like you, if you're resonating with this, can see that layered thing. And because attention is not focused necessarily, there's information coming from different devices. And when I say devices, I'm also hearing that as people. Okay, because the hunger is understood. One of these is pouring in. Will it come through? There we go. Is pouring information in. This one is like thinking, like, what is this? What is this? Thank you. Okay, I'm going to keep going here, and I'm going to try and keep this shorter and sweeter, but I fully appreciate your attention and awareness and the wisdom of any spirits coming through to support our story. Thank you so much for the donations and those who like, share, and subscribe. It truly does help. Help not only me, but the channel to grow. Crystals and herbs. Oh, what medicine, what sacredness to behold. A dash of healing straight from mother's home. Devil. Okay. Thank you. Crystals and herbs. I wanted to note a little earlier that I felt like a lot of lineages were here. Elementals, energy, humans to spirit, including those here and now to those who will not be incarnate or coming back or never were, observers. Okay. And now I am in pain. There are people in pain with you. And crystals and herbs, there's something about medicine coming through. I just don't, maybe it's in this hunger. I'm hungry for medicine that will fix something. but I'm not paying attention. That's how I'm feeling in this moment again in all like those devices. It's almost like I just want to like it's all around me. It's all around me here tangibly, but I'm distracted. Does that make sense? I feel like I keep like jumping into in the aura of an energy of a portion of the collective to those that may be watching that are perceiving this, and still at the same time in that paralleling kind of Gemini energy, navigating, seeing both, and maybe even having the strength sometimes to say, oh, I'm getting distracted or I'm tired. I can see it, but I don't know what to do. And I'm hearing that song. I can't remember who it's by. I'd love to change the world, but I don't know what to do.
Rose.
Thank you. Being handed a rose. So All Hallows Eve is also coming through. Call upon the voices that stir your senses through the night. Cast an unforgiving howl as you stomp your might through the ground. Okay, so a lot of something that maybe what you know that you're doing or considering is in the subconscious realm, in the sleep realm, very much so in the spirit realm, even while you're awake. Okay. This is fantastic. I'm going to do that. So with boundary, and it's kind of, I don't know if she comes through quite clearly. She's almost like hag looking. But what came in with her is elders. So this is coming into like possibly those observers, including of yourself. You may understand that you are currently incarnate as an observer. And knowing that there's also a team trying to help. Birth from seed within the belly of the moon, they are the wise felt touches over your hearts and felt deep within the marrow of our spirit. And maybe this is what you're sending. Again, there's medicine in the background, but unbeknownst and maybe known is healer. And we're right in that third eye area.
Zachary.
I feel like you may actually be an elder with respectively other elders around you. There's more than meets the eye, and that's not stuck to, oh, this lifetime, my past lifetime. I'm not talking about any of that. I feel like I'm talking about consciousness connection in the spirit of all, foregoing familia in the frequency in which we claim it. There's nothing wrong with that. I understand it. But then there's, you know what I'm saying? Like the macro to the micro. And the gratification is coming through with rebirth. And there's that fire. There it is. Okay. Right in about, let's see if I can do this without, that's where I was seeing it, like the two beings and this fire. There's actually 3 here in the fire. And with that inspiration, it's like breaking chains. I don't know if you can hear it clearly. Now I can see in the ink blot 1, 2, and then this big being is the 3rd. I feel like you may be one of the big beings. And this isn't about, like stomping through the grounds of change to say, I'm making change. We're breaking chains. I don't feel like that's how it's being said. It's this subtlety that's happening in observation and then noticing your thoughts, my thoughts, when I'm seeing that. And maybe for a moment feeling the human anger or hurt to say, I can't believe this is happening in the world. I'm disappointed. And then I flow from my human reaction into my higher self response and go, okay. And I'm going to breathe, and I'm not going to add to that fire. I'm going to start adding to this other perspective that I have as a wise one, as an elder incarnate. And I'm going to add peace to this. I'm going to add positivity. And I'm not talking about positive words, positive thinking. I don't know how to say that again without But I feel like if you know, you know. I'm just going to send, perhaps love and light is an easier way to say it, but it's still not the terminology I'm feeling. It's like the family thing. There's maybe if you know what the word is, or you have another inspiring way to connect it for others to sense it. You know what I mean? It could inspire even like myself to go, that's a great word for now. And when we outgrow it, that's great too. Okay. I'm going to close out here, fellow sensitives. So we have the underworld and the pomegranate here. I know the pomegranate has meaning. If that stands out to you as it is to me, I'll leave it to you to research on your own time, just like that device, to take the steps, to Google, to look it up, to draw it, to meditate on it, and not necessarily receive anything from my yammerings. But the underworld, where all things pause and begin again. And it's coming in with that rebirth. And Jupiter 7, the cycle of 7. The witch, the earthly weaver of the worlds. And the hearth, happiness in our hearts and home. And that's where I feel like we are on this fine day, if you're here or whenever you receive this. The earthly weaver of the worlds, we've been talking about that, I feel, whether it's consciousness, human higher self, apply all the, the new age to ancient words. And the heart and home of our human meat suit to our holistic nature of interconnected of all things. And protect that. But I see it's like adding fire. Again, it comes into this fire thing space, like where things are people adding things into, like tossing things into like a garbage bin, into that black hole void thing, without understanding their, no, black holes just, everything gets sucked in there and it disappears. I don't think it does. It may disappear from our understanding or the context in what we currently know, but I don't think it does.
Wandering.
Anyway, and then I see wise ones, elders, this, that, or the other, observers, adding fire to things, like more of a cleansing and warming of heart. So, and maybe that's a nice way of saying it. Remember when I was saying like, if I was seeing devastation on the screen, it's like, whoa, okay, human higher self response. I'm going to add logs to cleanse the land, perhaps, or to help raise the vibration of the people, to remind them of the bravery and the strength that they have to go through this, because they did choose this incarnation to be in certain situations to help their evolution. Everyone's always in a state of helping their own evolution, individually and interconnectedly. And sometimes that means going into the underworld, but that doesn't mean there's not fruits to those labors. The seeds can be planted. Okay, my loves, thank you so much for being here with me. And thank you to the spirits. Until next time, I'm so grateful for you sitting with me, scrying with me, and I'll see you again soon.